Mark, still in your hands. Simple as that. Still in your hands with 2 games to go. And I guess earlier in the season, or 2 or 3 months ago, that was even in doubt. So still in your hands. 2 games left. Everything in.
Yep, they're the facts. They're what we're presented with. They're what we know what we have to do. So yep, we're all clear on that. We're all ready for it. We've had a really, really good week in the preparation, and that's been continued today on the training pitch. The players have shown a real good focus to what we want to do and how we want to approach the game. Like I said, it's a really, really important game. It's a game we're looking forward to because we believe come Saturday, 3 o'clock, we're going to be really, really ready to go and compete and achieve our goals. So, yeah, it's been a positive week.
And those midweek games that have taken place, it adds a bit of clarity to everything, doesn't it? Everyone knows where they're at now, which helps as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, we can't control that, and all the time. Of course, I've said before, you have eyes on things. You're listening to it. You're watching things coming in. Of course, you are. I'd be lying if I wasn't, and I think everybody else is doing the same. So we know what's presented in front of us. We know what we have to do. We know we have to approach the game to try and go and win it. We know we're going to come up against a really, really strong team. Watch their game against Ipswich, and although Ipswich won the game, and people might look at it was a big goal margin, 3-0, particularly in that game. It wasn't. Barnsley were well in the game. They had chances. They were a dangerous team. They're well organised. So we have to respect all those elements of it. We have to be prepared for it, and we need to be prepared to bring our game as well.
How are the squad? Everyone okay? What's life like injury wise?
Yeah, everything's okay. Paris is on the mend after his knock. I know he finished the game against Fleetwood, but there were a little bit of concern before the game at Fleetwood with him, and slightly afterwards as well. But he's okay. He's back in training. He'll be with the team again tomorrow. So we'll see how he is and assess that. But I fully expect him to be fine. Everybody else is okay. So, like I said, there's been a real good focus from the players in every training session this week. So everybody's ready. Everybody's ready to contribute when called upon. So yeah, we'll be good to go.
And you've already spoken about Barnsley, and it goes without saying. All you have to do is look at their league position to know how well they've played. But actually, in a very competitive kind of top eight, I would say for months now, they've kind of been there and they've cemented their position. And at one point, they were almost getting into the top two. They were that good. They were a very good team.
Yeah, I think that they can find themselves really unfortunate not to be kind of in the mix-up for that automatic, because I've watched them quite a few times, and they're an excellent team. They're really well drilled in what they do. They've got good players who can handle the ball. They've got good players who can mix the game up as well. They're really kind of offensive with their wide centre back stepping in. I know Liam Kitchen really well from his days at Leeds, so I know he's an excellent player. But they've got players all over the pitch who can be dangerous. But likewise, we need to be ready for that, and we need to be able to bring our game as well, because within our team we've got some very good players, and we've got some dangerous players as well. So yeah, we'll be ready for how to deal with them, and then we'll try and bring our game, like I always say.
And just finally, for me, I mean, it's reached that point in the season. We've talked so much over the last few weeks about where everyone knows where they're at, but that carrot on the end of the stick to win a game at home in front of your own fans and be safe for another season. I mean, it's huge, isn't it?
That's what we've got to hold on to, and that's our focus. That's our mindset. We've got to show that determination, that passion. There's also got to be a kind of a calmness to it as well, to understand what we need to do to execute the game plan. That's really important. And like I said, the boys have been really focused throughout the week, but more so today as well, with how we want to approach it, and what we want to do, and what we want to bring to the game. So, like I said, it's a pressure game, of course it is. But these games, these pressure games, are what you want to be in the game for. No one wants to be competing at the bottom end of the table. I get that, understandably, but when the pressure comes, we have to stand up and be counted, and that's what we're all going to do as a team.
Here's my
Cheers.
How good was it to have Warren O'Hora back for yourself on Saturday?
Yeah, really good. Again, he's a player who's really, really important to us. He's a player who's been missed over the time he's been out. Uh, so to have him come back in and put in such an assured performance, and we not only get the result, but it was really, really pleasing to see him come back in. And he was tired towards the end of the game a little bit, but he got through it. And like I said before, with other players, that's credit to the staff who's been working with him, but also credit to the player as well in how he's focused on his rehab and his kind of fitness to stay sharp and stay ready. So that was really, really pleasing.
We've just spoken to Jamie Cumming. A brilliant 18-month loan spell he's had at Stadium MK. How important has he been to you since you arrived?
Yeah, he's been integral to the team, and he's been integral to the run which the positive run we were on for that short space of time. With the clean sheets he kept as well. So he's a top goalkeeper. He's a top young player who's going to have a bright future ahead of him. We're privileged to have him at our football club, and we're happy that he's with us and in our camp because the players feel really, really secure. He's got an air of confidence about him as well, which is really good. And he's, like I said, he's a quality player.
Do you think he could play in the top flight?
I think he's got the potential to. It's a long way for any young player to go, and that top flight of football is extreme. And you only have to look at the game last night to look at the qualities of the goalkeepers. He's at a big club at the minute. I'm sure. He's going to take a hell of a lot of experiences from what he's done in the loan spells he's had. And like I said, he's just really, really focused to perform and get better all the time. So, with all those mixed in and that mindset from a player, then when you have the ability and that willingness to learn and develop, then, he's got a good chance to get there.
And speaking of loan spells, you had one at Barnsley during your playing career, didn't you? What do you remember of your time at Oakland?
Not very much. It was that long ago. It was in black and white, I think, back then. But there we go. Yeah, I had a brief spell there. I had a few games on loan at Barnsley. It was just a month's loan when I was at Leeds. So, it wasn't a long sustained period there. But no, yeah. I can't really remember too much about it, to be fair, and it doesn't enter my mind even when we're playing against them. But all I know that now is Barnsley are a team who are competing at the right end of the table. They're a strong team, they're a dangerous team, and we need to be on our game. So that's all I'm looking at, rather than in the past. I'm looking at what we need to deal with now in the future. So.